Now coming from our farm, right here to you at the Manatee County Fair. Folks, this is our little wonder pig. We're very proud of him. Pig crew, if you would you please bring out our little man? Folks, this is our little Wilbur. Good job, Wilbur. All right, well, that's not all. How about we show the boys and girls how you've learned some other things on the farm? How about you sit and sit up? Very good. Fantastic, Wilbur. All right, Wilbur, you've been learning how to dance. Let's see it out here today. That deserves a treat, pig crew. Let's give Wilbur a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Wilbur. You guys can go on home. We need to start the show. Our first race will be the obstacle racing pigs. If you folks look down the track, here are the obstacles. Our racing pigs are going to jump over our checkered hurdles, weave in and out of our checkered fences, and then they have to jump through our black and white hoops. Now, once they make it through the track and race their way to the finish line, we have the winner. But boys and girls, these two pigs need some pig cheerleaders, so I need to pick out two brave volunteers that I call pig rooters. If you want to be a pig rooter, put those hands up high, wave them back and forth, scream, shout, yell. Who's going to be my pig rooters? All right, who's going to be? I need some hog wild pig rooters. I'm looking left and right. I got a big choice out here today. I'm going to start with the young man right here. That's going to be my pig rooter number one. I need another pig rooter. Who's my next pig rooter two? How about right here? You're going to be my second pig rooter. You'll be my pig rooter number two. All right, pig rooters, here are the racing pigs. They're getting ready for the race. They've got their numbers on. I'll start by introducing racer number one. Let's make some noise for the Baconator! Wearing the number two blanket, let's hear it for Dale Earnhardt Jr. All right, pig rooters, your racing pigs have got their numbers on. They're ready. Are you ready, pig crew? All right, everybody, let's yell that suey nice and loud all together. 1, 2, 3. Great job, pig rooters. All right, kiddos, it's time for another race. We're going to be bringing out all of our racing pigs to race at the same time. Now, for this final race, I'm going to need to pick out some more pig rooters. But this time, I want some loud, screaming pig rooters. Who wants to be my pig rooters? All right, who's it going to be? I need 6 hog wild pig rooters. All right, I'm going to start up there. It's going to be pig rooter number 1. I need pig rooter number 2. In the pink right here, that's pig rooter number 2. I need pig rooter number 3. Who's my next pig rooter? Right here is going to be my pig rooter number 3. I need pig rooter number 4. Who's my next pig rooter? Right there is going to be pig rooter number 4. I need pig rooter number 5. Who's my next pig rooter? In the flat here is pig rooter number 5. I need one more pig rooter. Who's my final pig rooter right here? How about that at the top of the seat? So Pikachu up there. That's going to be my final pig rooter. That's pig rooter number 6. All right, pig rooters, here are the racing pigs. Now, they're almost ready, so I'm going to introduce them for you one at a time. We call them the Superstar Racers. We wouldn't be the Hollywood racing pigs without them. So starting with racer number 1, she is our singing sensation, and she is all over Instagram. But let's hear it for Brittany Spare Ribs. Our second racer, he's wearing the number 2 blanket because he is Kevin Bacon. Racer number 3. She was always in trouble, but I think she's finally doing just fine. That's Lindsay Loham. Racer number 4. Now he is my personal favorite. He is so handsome. That is Brad Pigg. Racer number 5. All the kids' favorite. From the Pineapple Under the Sea, Sponge Hog Pork Pants. And we have our final racer. She is wearing the number 6 blanket. Now she is blonde and she is beautiful. She was just in theaters. Let's hear it for Barbie Q. All right, the racers are ready. Are you ready? This is our final race. These racers want to hear one more suey. Nice and loud. 1, 2, 3. And they're off. They're coming out for 2 meters. Today is the racers going. Number 6 is taking the lead. They're followed by number 2 and number 3. Look at these racers move down our track and coming into turn 2. Coming to our finish line. We got a winner. It's number 6.
Keep it going. Whoa, whoa. All right.
Jump rope for y'all, but I can't.
Do it, bro. It's only for like
Right there. Where you are.
I notice side, tell me yes or no. Do you think Kit knows how to do the floss dance? No? All right, so Kit, we're going to teach you how to do the floss dance. You guys help me out. We're teaching Kit. Kit, repeat after me. 3 times 2. That's how you do the floss dance. That's all you have to remember. 3 times 2. It's 3 moves times 2. So guys, follow along. The first 3 moves are 2 hands over to the left, 2 hands over to the right is the second move, and third is back at the ankle. That's the 3. Then we do the opposite 3. Here's the 2, right? So we start on the right is 1, over to the left is 2, and then back at the ankle. So you get it. Left, 2, 3. Right, 2, 3. And then Kit, once you get that part down, put your hip in the other direction. Every Kit's getting warmed up. All right, you ladies here belong to Kit, right? Yeah, all right, we're gonna need you after the song to stay there because you're gonna make Kit. There's gonna be a test at the end. All right, you guys ready? Anybody else want to join along? I'm gonna get some free prizes away. If you want to floss dance with us, come on over. Last call, and here we go. One more thing, guys. Listening ears on. Here's how it's gonna go down. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, and then say the word floss. That's when we start floss dancing. We go through the song to the halfway point. We're gonna take a break, a little breather, and then we will continue on to the end. Give me a thumbs up if you understand what I just said. Awesome. Last thing, ladies and gentlemen, these guys have never done floss dance here in front of the Mosaic Arena before. What we need from you right now is your applause. 1, 2, 3, floss. Great job. Kids down. Do it now. Don't get so excited, kid. Good job, guys. Thank you for joining us. Doing a good job. And no problem. Over. Good. And the one now stands again. Everybody gets a prize at the end. More than easy. The halfway point. The break, you get to take a breather. Wipe the sweat off your forehead. Right? All right. Take a stretch. Stretch things out. Feeling good. Make sure our clothes are on straight. And take a big, deep breath. And when you're ready to go again, give me another thumbs up. When you're ready to go again, thumbs up. You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, we need more applause. 1, 2, 3. Applause. It's not done yet, kid. Okay, guys, now we've reached the end of the song. And how the end of the song goes is you have to floss as fast as you can go. Come on. Music faster. Faster. Funky music. Give him some applause, ladies and gentlemen. Funky music, white boys. Now go crazy. All right, that was.
Başka değil mi?
supposed to feel.
decided to get out here and do a little pre-show for you guys. What we've done previously is we actually made the barb of the hook. We just got through making the eye, and now we're actually going to bend the hook into its proper shape. You'll get to see a series of tools that we use. These are called Hardy tools. These actually fit in the back of the anvil, and they act as a way for us to actually bend the steel. So you can see there's our barb. I'm going to bend it back into place just a little bit. And then using this, I can actually come in here and start curling this piece around. Now this piece of steel that I started with is not ideal. Again, like I said, this is just kind of a play piece. But we're going to make that bend right there. I'm going to come in, I'm going to make a counter bend on my eye, and you can see that this size steel doesn't play nice with my tongs. It's very difficult to get a really good grip on it. But we're going to make it happen anyway. Now, we've got somewhere of a hook right there, but you see the eye's not in the right place. It's actually facing, which we all know is not right. So I'm going to take another heat, and then I can actually just twist this whole thing around to fit. Now you guys will get to hear this during the show, but your average campfire burns about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. When you see that metal come out in some bright orange, it's almost 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. At 2,300, the steel melts. But just using this air blast and the coal in the fire, we can get over 3,000 degrees. So we can melt steel very easily in this fire. I'll pop it right, I'll find me a slot here. Check that out, that quick. Now I'm just a tad bit OCD. And if that hook isn't really in there halfway correct, it's going to bother the tar out of me. But that's going to be good enough for government work. You pick it up. Folks, check that out. 1 forged hook. Everybody claps. It's awesome stuff.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. So as you saw, the mastermind and walking encyclopedia, Mr. Trenton Ty, of over 20 years experience. My name is Frank Klapka, and together we are Purgatory Ironworks. We come from a humble little shop up in southwest Georgia, about 6 hours from here. Over in that shop, when we're not doing fairs, we specialize in knife work. We support the local farmers with peanut blades, help to reforge those, and you may have seen some of our work in Star Wars movies, a little bit of Netflix adaptations. We get a lot done in our little shop. And in addition to that, we have built everything that you see here, except for our anvil, which is only a couple years older by about 150 years. So, without further ado, I will be using my powers to turn this simple piece of metal into a useful spoon. Now this mild steel, it's 3/8 inch, nothing exotic, but it is very, very strong. This is a 135-pound anvil, folks, and it has no problem propping it up. It will break every bone in my body before I manage to scratch it. But the cool thing about blacksmiths and things that you just don't find around your garage, we have the ability to heat metal up to the point where we can bend it any which way we please. So you take a proper heat source and some airflow, and you can turn it in to a very hot popsicle. So with the almighty power of my pinky finger, folks, this is the exact same kind of metal, and I am bending it with little to no effort. That is my first magic trick. All right? Thank you very much. I'll take it. I'll let you all applaud a little bit later. So around your garage, you typically throw this away, right? Well, and of course, 200 years ago, there were no hardware stores. But us as blacksmiths, and the greatest thing about this craft, we can just shape and mold this out like nothing happened. If only doing my taxes were this easy. All right, so folks, that same piece of metal, the general standing rule in the shop, if it's glowing orange, do not lick it. And as Mr. Trenton said, for those of you who are just showing up, even if this has no color on it, it's still at about 1,000 degrees. Your typical campfire is 1,000 degrees. One of our new guys a couple years ago made the mistake of grabbing a piece of metal with his leather glove on. He wasn't using that hand for the rest of the week. And again, as he mentioned, this forge is capable of reaching 3,000 degrees. I need this metal to be around the 1,300 to 1,800 degree range. If it's over 2,000, about 2,200, it's going to make a really cool sparkler, but a very bad spoon. All right, so we're going to start laying the groundwork for our spoon here. You need to set a shoulder on the edge of the anvil. A little more. Just add a nice taper, and I'm going to start adding a little neck to it. Just like that, folks. Nothing exotic, nothing complicated. We now have the start doing our spoon here. All right. Trust me, it gets cooler. All right. So a little bit about a blacksmith. 200 years ago, a blacksmith would be as important to most everybody like your mechanic is just as important to you today. So if you're a soldier, of course you need a gun, a sword. You're going to look awful crazy going out there with a stick. I'm your guy. If you're a cook or a seamstress, sewing needles, pots, pans, spoons, knives, I'm your blacksmith. If you need to get a tooth pulled, guess who the only person in town who knows how to make tongs? The blacksmith. I am not making that up, folks. There are archaeologists who have pulled up ancient blacksmith shops, and there have been sets of human teeth around there for that very reason. Pretty cool stuff. All right. So we are gonna see here. Got a pretty good heat. I'm gonna use a special technique called beating the tar out of it. All right. Had to focus there for a little bit. I think I might need to flatten that out a little bit more, but we have an excellent start to it. I believe that is starting to look like a spoon. Call me crazy. All right. So we're going to add a little more heat on that, and I need to flatten it out to help me out on my next step. So while we're doing that, got a little ahead of myself. So we like to encourage questions. We are not the typical blacksmith that likes to grunt and groan at something and hope you go away. So at any point during the show, feel free to raise your hand and pick my brain about the general, some general knowledge about a blacksmith. So no pressure. Oftentimes we like to ask you all, where do you think a blacksmith gets his tools from? He makes them, right? Well, where do you think a blacksmith got his first set of tools? Because it's kind of hard to make a set of tongs if you don't have a set of tongs to begin with. So at the ripe old age of 9 years old, a young boy would be entered into an apprenticeship program. And at about when he's about a teenager, he would be gifted from his master a very basic set of tongs and his first hammer. And with these two tools, he would be able to go out into the universe and create everything that he needed to. And folks, you don't need this fancy antique anvil that costs maybe $300 in some states. You can just use, I started out with a piece of rail. You just need a strong piece of metal to bang on. It doesn't have to be exotic. My first forge was powered by a $10 hair dryer. All right, so we're gonna flatten this out a little more. There we go. Now we're really starting to look like a spoon. How about that? All right. I mean, this is cool stuff. With what that piece of metal started out with, for those of you who have been here, I mean, it is just mind-blowing to me to make these certain things out of nothing. It still makes me jealous that when we go to the scrapyard, it is like our candy store. There are so many different pieces of metal we get our eyes on that we can repurpose. My boss, for instance, made a tomahawk, several tomahawks the past couple weeks ago out of Honda CV axles. So 4140 steel is not cheap to buy, so we got in good with the local mechanic and told him to set it aside for us. So, all right, the next technique we're going to move to is we're going to borrow something from ancient armorers. So you've seen in the movies with Brad Pitt or Russell Crowe, those chiseled, muscly armors, right? Has anybody seen A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger? They got armor right because it's more like a beer belly. Because if you have that muscle, really awesome look, that is an excellent way to catch an arrow or a lance to your torso, right? So we need that beer gut, that rounded shape to help deflect some of that stuff off of it. So to do that, they used what we call a dishing stump. Now you can see from our other shows, the spoons that we've done. So the wood is going to burn out from underneath the metal and help us get that dish in our spoon. The way this spoon is right now, we like to call it our Weight Watchers spoon. You're not going to get a whole lot on that. And to get that dish in there, we're going to have to summon another specialized tool. Many of you may not have seen one before, but a ball peen hammer. Nothing complicated. This is what people commonly refer to as a blacksmith hammer, but the technical name is a cross peen hammer. So pretty much all the names of the hammers, it is referring to the peen on the back side of it. A claw hammer is technically a claw peen hammer. All right, so we're going to get this up to temperature real quick. Nothing too crazy. Now would be an excellent time for any questions. If there's anything on your mind. Where did I first start out as a blacksmith? I'm glad you asked. So I watched Trent on YouTube because he had a lot of really good information on there. Not that I'm trying to put a YouTube plug out there, but it turns out I lived 2 hours from him and he was offering an internship program. So I drove down, turned in my application, and he hasn't gotten rid of me since. All right. I really need to get that spoon a bright yellow or it's not going to get much of a dish. So we're going to crank the air up a notch. All right, over to the dishing stump. Helps if I use the right end. I am hitting the same spot and just rotating that spoon in there. That is where we're going to get our dish from. Just a little straightening. Little detailing, and folks, I think I could fit about 5 Cheerios on that spoon. And now you may applaud. Thank you very much. All right, that's one of my prettier ones. I can live with that. All right, so this is a perfectly functional spoon, but we as blacksmiths like to add our own flair to our work and test our abilities. So we're going to have to summon a couple more tools. I am going to do a simple blacksmith twist. With that, I'll go ahead and throw this back into the forge. Handle first. Now let's talk about the anvil real quick. Looks like some of us are old enough to know who the Wile E. Coyote is. So when you'd see this anvil come falling out of the sky onto his head, I didn't know as a kid that every shape on this anvil serves a specific purpose. From the horn to the table. You saw the horn earlier while he was warping his hook, bending it. So the horn, the table, the face. The next thing I need is the hardy hole, and this is a pritchel hole. Not that any of us will remember that. I forget myself. But I need the hardy hole. So with as many different tongs and hammers that we have an equal amount of hardy tools. For instance, we have a cutting hardy. This was made with a leaf spring. But we just use this so we can, and we take our hammer and chop up kindling to start our fire in the morning. But what I need is just a simple twisting vise. It has a perfect taper for that 3/8 stock, and a nice taper on there for the hardy hole. And combined with that, a simple twisting wrench. That's what I like about this job. It's nothing complicated. We keep things simple for the most part. All right, so let's fetch our spoons, see where we're sitting at. Need a little more heat. If the color is too dull on it, then I run the risk of tipping the anvil over on my ankle. So we made it far enough in the fair. I don't want to go away with a broken leg. I'm going to get some air, a little bit more air going in here. So I'm propping the coals up there, and we got a little valve to kind of help get our airflow boosted out there. All right, we got the design for this forge from the Library of Congress around the 1840s. All right, we're at a good temperature. So I'm gonna do one twist. And I'm feeling a little froggy. Let's go ahead and do a double twist in this. All right. Opposite way. And I'm gonna straighten it out. A little bit of straightening, tweaking it. I gotta hold my mouth right. All right, I think we got something here. Now I'm gonna brush the scale off. This is what's also known as a black oxide. Because most of us who've been through high school chemistry, when you add heat to a reaction, it speeds it up. So it's almost like it's rusting rapidly. So we are almost done here. What we need to do is add a nice protective coating on it. So, because what happens when you leave a piece of metal out in the state of Florida? It's gonna rust. So back in the day, they would typically use beeswax, but we got a little bit more exotic here at Purgatory. And I went out and got some candle wax. So we have two flavors for you to choose from. All right, so we have pumpkin spice and apple cinnamon. So by show of hands, pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice loses. All right, so we're gonna doll it up with some apple cinnamon. I did have leftover Christmas tree, but I don't want to use that for my spoon. All right. Here we go. Now you can see it's just a little too hot. It's kind of rejecting that wax, kind of sizzling in there. Doesn't it? And there we go. So it is just a little too hot. It's rejecting that candle wax, but we are setting the ambiance. So we need to drop this down a couple hundred degrees with our little quench bucket. We just got water with a small touch of candle wax in there. One more time. All right, now you can see that metal is starting to look wet. This is a process known as wetting the metal. I mean, really, yeah, it's a technical term, because you can see that shiny coat on it. And now it is accepting that candle wax. It is just warm enough to soak it in, but not too hot to where it rejects it. And this also makes this another fancy word. For those of you who might have taken a little Latin, it is known as hydrophobic. Hydro being water, phobic meaning afraid of it or resistant. So the cool thing, the sciencey thing about this is the wax stays on there, but the metal is cooling down inside that wax shell that we just did. And with that, I did all that without burning down the fairgrounds or myself. And with that, folks, I have taken this piece of metal and turned it into a spoon. A spoon. You may now applaud. Thank you, thank you. You'd be so kind of pass it around. Thank you, sir. Now, as that's going around, folks, we'll leave you with a few words. So we love doing this stuff. If it wasn't obvious, we are out here to ensure that this isn't a dying art, because as we get told all the time, this may be a lost or dying art. This is why we're out here. This is literally a part of our heritage and our history. This wagon was used all the way up until World War I, before welding took off. So we like to take you back a couple hundred years to think of all these important skills that a lot of people knew. A 12-year-old girl was cooking food for her entire family. The young 9-year-old boy going into an apprenticeship program. Folks, we're not asking you to learn blacksmithing, but we are asking you to take the sum total of human knowledge in your phone and look up something useful that you can take with you. Most of us are grown here, so we like to pick on some of the teeny boppers and little kids, but we ask like a 12-year-old girl, what's her biscuit recipe like? Because a 12-year-old girl 200 years ago was gonna be cooking for her whole family. So with that being said, folks, take the time, take the few minutes, and look up one of these applicable skills. Again, most of you look like you can change your car tire or check your headlight fluid. And if you can do that, talk to me after the show. But folks, take these few minutes and this 15 minutes just to learn a valuable skill to take with you. My boss often quotes a book, What Do I Do Now That My Mother's Not Around? And in that book contains so many of those essential skills that he still quotes to this day. So without getting too preachy, folks, that is the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. Y'all go out there and enjoy the rest of the fair. You are now released.
Other animal sounds. You can also watch sounds work in real time with its air quality display. If you love your house but hate how it smells, get your Sounds Air Purifier today.
Well, welcome to Cowboy Camp. This is Cowboy Camp that we got, and we've got some dummies set up as far as steer dummies, and the kids come and learn how to rope, which is a great thing. I do some trick roping and do a little cowboy poetry, so that's what we do here. Yeah, it's we have like the steer head on a bale of hay, and they've got to learn how to make a loop and to swing and catch that steer. And a lot of kids just figure, that beef ends up on the table, and they don't know where it comes from or what cowboys do or cowmen here in Florida do to gather them and stuff. So they learn a little lesson too. We even have adults out here. And I think one of the things that adds to the Manatee County Fair as the fields and the disappear and the buildings go up, and this is what Manatee is all about, is the cattle and stuff. And of course now we got a lot of new neighbors that's come in and everything, but they can kind of look back at what it was like just a couple of years ago here. Just that simple. I love computers, and I love some of these kids that can show me what I'm doing wrong, but you can have fun just with a little piece of rope and even a bucket to rope, and they were just thrilled by it. Well, I could do one real quick. My dad had an old pocket knife. He called his carrying knife, and that he did throughout the years. They said he had it in his pocket when he paced back and forth waiting for me to appear. He used that old pocket knife for about everything, from peeling an apple or an orange or doctoring a calf, or at times even doctoring me. At times my dad's friend was lost, but when found it was always real clean, thanks to Mom's washing machine. The other day I gave my son a pocket knife. I handed it over to him with a tear in my eye. I said, take good care of her, son, because that's my dad's old pocket knife. Yeah, it's in the main gate. Just come by Cowboy Camp, and I always got a fire going. You can smell that smoke, that good oak, and just come in and sit around and talk and just relax.
I love the fair for the fried Oreos and the rides that make you so sick you want to throw up. I like the fried Oreos and the rides.
I mean, like, it's alright. Like, I'd rather go to Busch Gardens, but you know, it's so cool.
I like the fair because of the fun it brings on the rides.
I like the fair because of the swing. I like the fair and all the lights, the rides and the lights.
But yeah, we love the fair.
Oh yeah, the lights.
Yeah, love the fair. No, she doesn't want to.
Thank you.